I want to work in different places. I want to try different things out. I don't want to just repeat myself. I'll get bored.
I've had some experience in theatre with Peter Brook, the legendary Peter Brook, who passed away recently. Through theatre, I got into film, storytelling.
It's a really collaborative sort of process.
You get to see this great choreographed piece, but you get to see the muscles, you get to see the sinew, you get to smell the sweat of the dancers.
Hi everyone, this is Saleh from AsianCultureVulture.com. We're rounding off our coverage of the BFI London Film Festival with the red carpet of Creature. This is a film by Asif Kapadia and Akram Khan. It's a dance film. Let's go and find out more.
So exciting to be in London. We're all Londoners. We're all from a South Asian background. It's an incredible achievement for all of us.
So tell us a little bit about your role in Creature, Andy.
It's a tiny role, and it's not. I mean, I literally feel like I'm sort of a bit of a sham being here. Actually, it was a sort of very much an in and out experience. I'm used to working on things for long periods of time, so it's actually really freeing to come in and literally play. I love exploration and. So any chance to get with another artist in a room and bounce ideas around, and it was a great experience. He's brilliant at bringing dance to people who not normally would even go and venture anywhere near going to see people dancing. You know, he makes it kind of accessible and visceral and really, there's the dramatic content. You know, it's always written. He always works with a dramaturg who shapes his pieces, and so you always get a sense of story that you can follow. It's not like sometimes you go and watch ballet and it's kind of very nice to look at, but you're not quite sure what's going on.
I'm a huge fan of Akram's work, of course, and I've seen every show of his. And when I saw his show that he did with the English National Ballet, Giselle, I thought, this is not just a dance production, this is cinema, and it's beautiful. And I wanted to be inside it somehow and just work with him as well. So when the ENB commissioned him to make Creature as a stage work, I started talking to them about making it as a film production. And then, of course, the pandemic hit. So incredibly, we actually made this film before anyone had seen it on stage.
We didn't cancel, we postponed the world premiere at Sadler's, 3 weeks shy of the premiere. COVID hit and the lockdown happened, so we were all kind of, we needed something to get our teeth into, because as you remember, most of us felt disorientated.
A lot of the pandemic had a big play in it. It is touching on a lot of aspects that happened in the world or are happening in this world. So I took a lot of those pains and frustrations and anger and kind of put them into the role. And so did a lot of research with Akram as well, and we played around with who, what, and what is Creature. So
a lot of my work is cinematic anyway. I take a lot from Japanese film directors, such as Rai, Indian film director, especially world cinema. And so I love being in the process of creation of a film. I think it's so exciting for me because it's something also very different. It has a different kind of process, different timeline, slightly different agenda, but we're all aiming to tell the story the best we can. That's what we share in, whether it's theatre, we just have different tools, theatre and film. And the thing about film is, it stays forever. We were looking for directors, and Asif was someone I've always wanted to work with, and it was just a beautiful combination,
For this project, I wanted someone who felt very ambidextrous, someone who could work in fiction and in documentary and didn't feel constrained, because it's an unusual and beautiful piece of work. So you need someone who feels comfortable with working with different parameters.
What does it mean to have a dance film to your name now?
What does it mean? Well, it's another film, which is the most important thing. I love to make films. It's another film at the London Film Festival, back at the BFI. So all of that is really important for me. Also, the idea of I think for me as a filmmaker and as a director, the thing that I'm interested in is like a long-term kind of career, but also like a range of colours. I want to work in different places. I want to try different things out. I don't want to just repeat myself. I get bored. I do get bored. So for me, it's like something I've never done before that I've learned from, and you kind of learning on the job. I would love to do another film with Akram again and with dancers and actually go into it knowing the process and then think about, okay, what can we do with it? But for now, this is the one that came out of an accident, which came out of COVID, which came out of an opportunity where we had 10 days with a group of brilliant people and we made a movie in 10 days because you can sometimes. It doesn't have to be years of planning. It was literally like, we found out a few weeks before, said let's try it. I don't know what it's going to be. How much time do you have? This much. We had very little money and we shot a movie.
It actually worked very smoothly. Asif did a lot of work with Akram within speaking, and then we also translated. He would then translate what Asif would want on camera, and we would kind of have a conversation within each other. So it was a three-way kind of conversation, and it felt very natural.
The filmmaking side of it is straightforward, but understanding dance and dancers and working with music and understanding what I felt, what are we trying to say, and what was really interesting is Akram's style very much is creating metaphors for the audience to figure out what they want. For me, filmmaking, you have to be a bit more on the nose sometimes and you have to explain things. So it was an interesting kind of, not in a negative way in any way, but it was an interesting tension between the dancers who were very particularly working, who were part of the English National Ballet, and I would almost say quite a unionized system almost of how many minutes you're on, how many minutes you're off, how long you can dance for, how long is warm-up time, how much, very, very rigid. Filmmaking doesn't work like that. Like when you're on, right? You've got to be ready to do it. And then within that, you've got a choreographer who's a very particular style, and he has his team. So you've got these three groups of people that are all kind of meeting, and there is a tension that comes from that. But then what was great in this particular case is that everyone trusted each other and we affected one another to create something different to what we thought we were going in to make. The film's entirely different to anything I've ever done, but thematically it's very similar. I'm interested in outsiders, I'm interested in power structures, I'm interested in people who are maybe from a low kind of base who are dealing with a bigger corruption or bigger structure or authoritarian regime. Now, I had no idea that was in this. It's what I read into it, and that's what I kind of wanted to bring out. But I think it was there. And I am drawn to that type of subject matter because I'm interested in that, what's going on in the world. So even though it's a dance, it actually, I think, is saying a hell of a lot about the climate, about the systems, the power structures, and how people are taken control of and used and abused and then dumped. That's what I think is in the work.
So what you have done, the heavens have become a part of man.
We want to give something to the dance fans in a different format, you know. One thing that I find so incredible about this movie is you get to see this great choreographed piece, but you get to see the muscles, you get to see the sinew, you get to smell the sweat of the dancers, and being up close and personal to these incredible athletes, and they are athletes, is such a privilege, and it's something that we've managed to capture.
The main thing for me was to try and get film people to come and experience, maybe if they haven't before, experience dance, for the ENB crowd to kind of meet cinema, for cinema to meet Akram's crowd to meet the ENB. You know, all of this somehow coming together was really, really exciting. I've no idea how it's going to play. We haven't shown it to a live audience yet, right? So this is the first time.
I really hope that audience is going to see this who perhaps would be a bit too scared to go see dance, would see it and think, actually, this is something that I can understand, that is for me, that isn't just a elitist sort of activity.
I always say that my nature is, I call it pleasure in drowning. You've got to find the pleasure in drowning. And I hope the fans, if you can call them fans, I don't know if I have fans, but I have people who like the work that I do, but I would always say, go for it because there's a pleasure in drowning.
And would you like to work in film more? Is that something you're interested in now?
Yeah, absolutely. If the opportunity arises, or if that door opens.
It sounds like Asif and Akram are going to be working again together. So
I hope so, and I hope I'll be a part of it.
Okay, lovely. Thank you. All the best. Take care. So it was fantastic being on the red carpet for Creature and talking to all the stars. This signs off our coverage from London Film Festival this year. Catch up with all the stories on www.asianculturevulture.com. I'll see you in the next video.